Hello, my mic is on and ready to go. Sorry. All right, you guys. We are hopefully live here. There we go. Welcome everyone to the afternoon edition of Without a Crystal Ball. It's Katie Joy. Today we're going to jump right in to Life After Lockup. Many of you have asked me about this show, and thankfully this is one I already watch. I have been obsessed with this show for a couple of years now, and have watched all of the episodes very religiously. So one of the storylines in this show involves Michael, Megan, and Sarah. Now, if you're not familiar with Life After Lockup, it started as Love After Lockup, and it revolved around individuals that are involved with inmates in prison, obviously, and sharing their stories, and then seeing what happens after they meet in the real world and how they sort of all work together. On the face of everything, it's very interesting, but obviously not all of these stories go the way that they're planned, and it follows these couples through the story. Now, if you haven't watched the show, I'll give you a little bit of a background. So Michael was incarcerated, and he was involved with a woman named Megan, but also married to a woman named Sarah. He and Sarah have a 3-year-old daughter, and Ariana, and then while he was incarcerated, and then while that initial incarceration, he did not tell Megan that he was married. He only told her that he had a baby mama. Megan was a virgin, and Michael got kind of obsessed with conquering her. Now, he never told her about the marriage. He didn't even really say that he was involved with the baby mama. It was more just they were on, she was just the mom. That was it. Now, during the same time he is talking to Megan, he's also still in this marriage with his wife, and she has zero idea about anything. She's supporting him. She's sending him money. She's setting up his life for when he gets out. She's getting everything prepped. She's doing everything she can. She's a young woman. She's 24 years old, and she has a young girl that she's been raising by herself this entire time, and she is sort of, when he gets out, he comes home to Sarah. Megan goes out there to meet him. Megan does not get to see him. He spends his time with Sarah. He tells Sarah he wants to have another baby. They get pregnant. Then a couple days later, he goes and meets Megan and takes her virginity at Niagara Falls. He is a player. He is sleazy. He is disgusting. And I think the hardest part for me in this story is that there are 2 little kids. Now, she gets pregnant. She's had the baby now, so she has 2 little girls, Sarah does. What I really don't like about the story is that Sarah has been made kind of a villain by fans, which I think is extremely unfair. She had no idea that her husband was doing this to her, and rightfully so. She's the wife, so why are we should not be vilifying Sarah. She had no idea. She supported this man. She was trying to help him make a better life. She knew that the statistics were not in his favor. He did not grow up with a father. She wanted to help him be a better person. They had a child together. He didn't know his whole thing is, well, I didn't really know what it's like to be a husband. I don't really know what it's like to be a dad. So he's just not going to do it. So in this first season, everything sort of comes to a head when he gets rearrested, and Megan goes out and to revisit him again because she lives in Texas and he's up in New York. And she finds out that he's back in jail for a parole violation. Now, if you get angry at me for taking a sip of water, I'm on lots of medications and I get dry mouth. So please, no more comments about please stop drinking water. If you're on the medications that I was, you would need water too. Okay, back to the story. Now, so eventually what happens is she goes out to New York. She ends up meeting Sarah face to face by surprise, not really even realizing it. At the same time all this is going on, he's engaged to Megan and he's planning a wedding with Sarah. It's a freaking mess, right? Sarah realizes and learns all about what's going on, and they meet up, and the meetup is horrible. Megan is like rude to Sarah. Sarah's just trying to understand what's going on. Megan isn't like super respectful about their relationship, insisting that she knew nothing about it. She's kind of blindsided because she had no idea that he was married. So the women equally are kind of screwed over by Michael. And the season ends with Sarah heavily pregnant, and she's leaving Michael, and she makes the decision for the first time in her life, after putting her entire life on hold, to take her children and her little girl and her baby that's on the way and move to provide a better life for them and just put her kids first and not worry about Michael. And then Megan decides that she is going to leave him and their relationship is going to be over. So then what happens is cut to the new season starts, which just started this summer. He's getting out of prison again after his stint for his parole violation. And he's in Michigan this time because that's where the parole violation happened, I guess. I don't really know. And so when they go to pick him up, who's there? Both Sarah and Megan. Why? Because while he's back in the slammer, somehow he gets in good graces with both of the women again. He convinces Sarah that he is not communicating with Megan anymore. And then he convinces Megan that he's not communicating with Sarah. And he tells everyone that, and so both women show up to go visit him, to go pick him up. Talk about messy. This man is a turd, and the women are made to look like fools. And that's kind of what I hate about this story. But what really bothers me about this story more than anything is that Megan knows that he's married. Megan knows that after all of this happens, she knows he's married. She knows that his wife is pregnant, and she still doesn't stay away from him. And that's really what pisses me off. Like, once you know somebody's married and has a kid on the way, like, go away. Like, there are plenty of fish in the sea, but she doesn't. She doesn't stay away from Michael. She never does. And instead, she's like continuing on with this relationship. And Sarah is now very heavily pregnant, and she's going to have this baby. And Michael is like, I want Megan. Oh, wait, no, I want Megan. No, I want Sarah. No, I want Megan. No, I want Sarah. And the poor women are like, make your choice. But really what Megan should be doing is like, peace. I'm not going to get in the middle of this because you got kids. But I always feel like he took her, I think she's like super attached to him because like he took her virginity. And mind you, she was like 29 or 28 years old when this all happened. You can send a super chat by hitting the $sign at the bottom if you want to send a super chat. Yeah, and so when they're picking him up, yeah, like you said, she was super pregnant. She's going to pick him up. She finds out about Megan again. And so now here we are. Michael's now in Michigan. And Sarah's in New York because she's taken her kids to New York to try to like get them out of the sort of the chaos that Michael has created. And then Megan's in Texas. But Megan, for some reason, can't get out of Michael's pants. I don't know why. This guy is a freaking loser. If Sarah, I understand why Sarah is sticking with this. She's got a 3-year-old girl and a baby on the way, and she didn't know any of this was going on. They have been together since she has been like 14 years old or 15 years old. This is like her first love, and she had no idea he was cheating on her. They've been invested for like 7 years. Megan's been around for 2 minutes. So Megan doesn't leave him alone. Instead, she shows up in Michigan. They go get a hotel room shortly after he gets out of prison. They go do the deed. And she has like no shame. But then in this most recent episode, she shows up at his house and he finds out that she kissed his best friend. And somehow that's worse than what he did to her. It makes zero sense, Michael. So Michael gets super mad. The show, Lisa, is called Life After Lockup, and it was Love After Lockup. So, here we are. Sarah is in New York. Michael is in Michigan. Megan is up in Michigan trying to get with Michael. Michael is ignoring her. And then Sarah is going to go into labor, and Michael's going to decide to break their parole. And he's on an ankle monitor, and he's somehow going to show up at the delivery. Now, we know that she had her baby girl. On Instagram, she has shared photos, and Michael has seen the kids because he is now, again, he's out of the clinker and everything's fine apparently, except on Instagram. Now here's the kids. They're freaking adorable. So that's the 3-year-old Ariana, and then I can't remember what she named the little girl. So they were, the last time I could tell that they were together was for Ariana's 4th birthday. And they're both little girls. They are not together though. If you go onto Sarah's Instagram, you will see that they have not been together, in fact. She had an interview with Radar Online, which I really kind of thought was sort of telling, because I feel like in this entire story, everyone has made Sarah the bad guy when she's really just honestly, freaking casualty of war here. And she said that she was blindsided when she found out that her husband was dating Megan. She said, I didn't know the extent of their relationship. I didn't know that he was telling her about me and my daughter, but I didn't find out that he actually told her about me. So when we had the meeting in that hotel on film, she came to me as if she didn't know anything about me, and that's false. She also said that Michael was a completely different person than he was in filming. She says, the crazy thing is I was coming home to bubble baths and dinners, cooked and massages, and we were going on dates and we were having fun. And I remember the day before he filmed with Megan. I didn't know this at the time, but watching the show, I know now. The day before he gets home and his mom and sister were there, we were eating pizza, and he grabs my neck and he looks at me so furious, and he was like, I love you. Promise me no matter what, we are always going to be together. Sarah admitted that the following day he went and cheated on her with Megan. So for me, I don't understand why he's saying that. He completed the mission. He had to have sex with me and completed that mission, but that's funny because that's what he was doing every day with me. Why are you doing these things? Calling me your wife, wearing your wedding ring around. I don't understand the part. When Megan wasn't around, the film crew wasn't around, you were the perfect husband. So she said, yes, it hurt, and a lot of the people are reading all the crap, and it hurts because we filmed a lot of him and I, but you don't see a lot of that on the show. They didn't show the dinners that we had together. They showed Michael and Megan, and that hurts. I don't feel like my side is out there, and I hope that there is another season. I'm able to put that all out there because I'm tired of being looked at like I'm the one who got rejected, the one that wasn't good enough. She didn't answer in early July whether or not they were divorcing, but she did say, the best thing I can say is that I've been through so much with this situation, and I did it pregnant. I did it while giving birth. I did it while I was hormonal. I don't do well with change. I worked my butt off to get a successful life with me and my family, and everything just changed. I had to move out of my apartment. I had to stop working because of my pregnancy. He went back to jail. Megan was coming after me because they were fighting on Twitter and on Instagram, and she was completely going after her, being totally inappropriate. And I don't understand why Megan is 29 or 28, way too old for this. So she said, she said, so there was so much that was going on. So a divorce was just so much pressure that I didn't feel like I needed to add to it. I just wanted to heal. He didn't just break my heart. He broke my spirit. He broke my core. He really damaged me. And then she said, she landed her when Michael went back to jail, she was forced to leave Michigan and move to New York so she could give her kids a better future. She said, when I got pregnant with Adriana, I broke up with him. I left because I knew that was the first decision I was making the first decision that I was making as a parent. And I knew the way our relationship was and the way we were living wasn't suitable for a child. And we needed help and money. And I didn't want to raise a child in the predicament that we were in. So I never left him to take the child away. I left him to better our child's life. He was supposed to follow me, but he never did because he went to jail. Because fans online have been ruthless with her that she's taking the kids away from her, and she just went back to where she's from, where she has support. So she said this, in terms of what comes up with the next season, she said the season is crazy and it's going to leave a lot of people confused. The things that he and I filmed together were not great. There was a lot of drama, and there's always going to be drama. I hope to be able to have a voice when the season is over, because I feel like there is a lot of explaining to do. Now, in regards to Sarah, I am I'm sorry, I'm just going to turn around here because it's easier for me to see here. I feel for Sarah. She's pregnant. She needs support. Her husband has been locked up most of the time that they've had kids. And I'm sorry, the second child is named Adriana. And so if you heard her, she's saying she had to leave because she needed support. She had no money. She had no place to stay. She had put her life on hold for him before, and now she's pregnant again. He gets her pregnant because he's promising her that they're going to be man and wife and they're going to have their family. It wasn't like she went out of her way to do this. Now, in fairness, are they focusing on her at all in this new season? Nope. She is literally, again, the side story. This entire season has been focused completely on Megan. And that's, I would imagine, kind of upsetting for her, because WeTV is making this, like, making her look like she's the vindictive wife, the angry wife, but we are not seeing how he's acting to her, except we see that he's trying to call her to be there for the birth of her child, and that's it. So I could see where this would make her feel frustrated, but to be frank, like, what I don't understand, you guys, if you are in the situation, and if you are dealing with this sort of stuff, and you know another woman, another man's wife, or a man's wife is pregnant, Megan, why are you still messing with him? Why? She seemingly comes from a good family. Her father's involved. I mean, this woman has, like, no reason. This is them. That's Michael. That's Megan. So Michael's in the middle. Sarah is the woman with the long blonde hair. Megan is with the braids. So what I don't understand, this is from Michael's Instagram. What I don't understand is, with everything that this woman has had, she seemingly comes from a good family. She has good support. She's got lots of friends. Why is she getting involved with a freaking felon online through JMail? None of this makes understand. And I'm sure, yes, Dreadlock, I'm sure a lot of this does come down to manipulation, because the guys in jail, they need someone to send them money. They need someone to send them, like, stuff for them to get commissary. They need cash for commissary. They need emotional support. They have nothing but time while they're there to do a lot of different things. And I can definitely understand what you're saying, Dreadlocks. I know that you've had some experience with that, so I appreciate your words there. Anyways, he's playing both girls 100%. And I think Sarah, for her part, is trying her best to move on. If you go onto her Instagram, she is not following Michael, and he's not following her. So when I go onto Instagram and I see this, he's following Megan, and then oops. And then he's not following Sarah. And he doesn't do anything on Twitter. He's following Sarah on Twitter, but he hasn't tweeted since like March on Twitter. So I don't think that him following Sarah on Twitter would be a good indication of what's going on with their relationship. And then, so he's following Megan, and then Megan's following him. Sarah is not following Michael. So I think it's pretty clear here that Michael and Sarah are not having a relationship. Michael or Sarah must hopefully, I would hope to God, just trying to move on with her life, because she really deserves better than this. And I don't know why Megan is even continuing to mess with Michael. Megan is messy. It's disgusting. Like, you don't get involved. Like, when you know somebody else is married and they've got kids and you're still staying in that situation, that's gross. No matter what the feelings he did to you, like, you need to move on, Megan. You need to get on with your life. You need to, like, let him figure out his business. And if he wants to bring another girl into the mix, fine. But don't be the messy mistress that, like, makes everything worse, thinking that he's going to be different with you. He's not. He's not going to be different with you, because Michael admits, even in his interviews, that he doesn't know how to be a husband. He doesn't know how to be a father. He doesn't know how to have a relationship like that, because it's not what he's used to. It's not what he saw. He is, as Sarah has said, he is repeating old patterns. And he is, as Sarah said to him on the phone, becoming a statistic. And she wanted better for him, and she had hoped that he would want more for himself than what he did. But he doesn't seem to know how to do that. And unfortunately, if he's growing up in an environment that's messy, and here's the other thing, you guys, that I think is, like, really icky in this whole entire thing, is that Michael's parents, or Michael's mother, his dad isn't around. Michael's mother and his sister knew about both of the women and didn't tell either one of them. And I think that's really deplorable. Grandma doesn't tell her daughter-in-law that her son is cheating on her, and doesn't tell Megan, oh wait, your boyfriend is married. And she knows about both women, and she just sort of stays out of it and plays both of them. It's really, it makes me upset. It makes me sad for these kids. It makes me, I have been in a situation like this when I was younger. And thankfully my husband hasn't. As a married woman, this hasn't happened. But I'll never understand women that, even after they've found out that they've been lied to, continue to pursue it, and they know that the person is married. Like, he's legally married to someone else. His mom is enabling him by not telling his wife. I think for Sarah, I would be I would be devastated to know what my husband was doing, because she felt very blindsided by it. But then to know that her mother-in-law, who she believes that she has a very good relationship with, she's known this family since she's been a kid. So she's like, this is like her second family. And and they lied to her. They didn't tell her. I mean, talk about losing everything. Talk about being completely, like, punched in the gut. I can't. And I don't know why, after all of this is said and done, why Megan would even want to be around this. Why would you even want to bother? Why would it matter? Megan is an intelligent woman, you guys. She's well-spoken. She's clearly, like, she has good friends. She's, like, seemingly comes from a really good family. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, like, why you would want to put yourself in this messiness, even after the fact. I don't get it. Oh, and Brittany Campbell, shout out to you for being the first one to comment on my last stream. Yes, Dreadlocks, you are correct. Predators do pick on easy targets, and Megan is maybe naive. She was a virgin at 28 years old, so she's not very experienced with men. But at some point, like, you got to give it up. So currently on this season, he is so far with Megan and he's not with Sarah. And as according to Roz, they aren't going anyway. They will still support Sarah. It's not the mother's job at this point. We are just getting in their lives. Trust that she has learned to stay out of it. Well, if he has messy relationships, I can see why she would want to stay out of it, except for in this case, he's got a kid with her and he's married to her. I don't know that that would even be like, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I would hope in a case like this that your mother-in-law would be honest with you. I honestly would. And I think by not being honest and hiding the secret for him, it just doesn't set the right tone. It doesn't set the right message. Oh yeah, the couple that didn't get married on the beach. Yeah, I can do a stream on that too. All right, you guys. So this is what's going on with Megan and Sarah. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know if you guys agree with me. Do you think it's like super like inappropriate for Megan to keep moving forward with this in knowing that Sarah is bringing a new baby into this picture and that Michael has another daughter? Why do you think WeTV is completely like leaving out Sarah's story? That's, I think, the part that really upsets me as a wife and as a mother. Like, her story matters, and like her getting cheated on matters, and her like, they're making it almost seem like she's the thirsty one, and she's not being thirsty at all. She's literally just married to him. So, Sarah said that the biggest issue for her, one of the most heartbreaking aspects, was that her mother-in-law knew and lied to her. That's what she said. She said that at the very end of last season. So that's why I'm going off of that, because those were Sarah's words from last season. All right, you guys. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Make sure you leave me a comment. Also, remember, your first comment will get you a shout out in my next video. And I will be back later today with more tea. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will continue on with the couples from Life After Lockup, because there are many and there are lots of stories to talk about. Bye, guys.